Paulette, who is in the hospital recovering from a little surgery today. We hear everything went very well. We're so glad to hear that. So God bless you, Clay. We hope things go very well.
All righty. Now, let's move right along. We talked about the title of the song. Going Back to Texas is the album. The song is Coyotes, I think.
Everything.
There's Don Edwards, everybody. See how he says it.
Was a cowboy I knew in South Texas, and his face was burnt deep by the sun. Part history, part sage, and part mesquite. And he was there when Pancho Villa was young. And he'd tell you a tale of the old days, when the country was wild all around, and sit out under the stars of the Milky Way. Listen while the coyotes howl. They go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. 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 Now the Longhorns are gone, and the Drovers are gone. The Comanches are gone, and the Outlaws are gone. Geronimo's gone, Sam Bass is gone, and the Buffalo's gone. The Red Wolf is gone. Now he cursed all the roads and the oil men, and he cursed the automobile. He said, this ain't no place for an hombre like I am, in this new world of asphalt and steel. Then he'd look off someplace in the distance at something only he could see. He'd say, all that's left now of the old days are them damned old coyotes and me. And they'd go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Now the Longhorns are gone, and the Drovers are gone, the Comanches are gone, and the Outlaws are gone. Stand Watie is gone, and Cointreau is gone, and the Buffalo's gone, and the Red Wolf is gone. Then one morning, they searched his adobe, and he disappeared without even a word. But that night as the moon crossed the mountain, one more coyote was heard. And he'd go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh.
Come sit down. Make yourself at home. I love that cowboy type music. And, you know, I was just curious. We were sitting here discussing, you know, the mood of a cowboy song. When you get ready to go in the studio for Warner Western and do these, do you create a setting in the studio?
Yeah, we really try to do that.
Do you really?
I mean, you know, we try.
What do you do?
Well, you just kind of get yourself thinking. I mean, you can't start campfires or nothing in the studio, you know.
bring in some cactuses.
You could.
Well, you try to get a mental picture, you know, to kind of get yourself back in that mode, you know, because it's all that openness of the songs are so so outside. You know, they're outdoors kind of songs.
Yeah.
And you've got to put yourself in that place.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, Jeannie, with you, what is the strangest situation you've been in the studio where they were trying to get you in the right mood for a song?
Well, I'd have to say them trying to twist my arm and to get me into the studio to do Harper Valley to begin with. Yeah, I didn't like the song because of the demo, and I didn't have the imagination to hear it. And I had to be told to pack a lies. I didn't want to be on a minor label, and I never heard of Plantation Records. I wanted to be one of those voices coming out of the megaphone, the gramophone, to the dog on RCA or something like that. You've been there. You know that? But they told me a bunch of lies. The producer, that I could get out of the contract if it wasn't a hit. Who ever heard of that? But I believed it, and I went ahead and signed it, but I was sick, you know. And I went in the studio angry at myself for not being able to say no, for having some friends that worked for him. Shelby Singleton was the producer. Friends that worked for Shelby Singleton twisted my arm and told me all kinds of things, you know, like getting out of my contract.
So being mad about the whole situation really set the tone for that record.
That was it, and I got credit for just being able to deliver that song all these years.
And you were just madder than fire when you went in there.
I thought, there goes a year of my life, and they may have lied to me. I might not get out of the contract, and I'll have to wait another year for the real thing. But when I heard the playback, oh, you're talking about the goosebumps. And it was a closed session to visitors. But the first thing you know, within 2 hours, musicians stayed around. They called friends. That studio was packed full of people. And Tom D. Hall, who wrote the song, I am told, and he agrees to this. I asked him about it. He ran all the way from Tootsie's. He was without a vehicle at that time. Ran all the way from Tootsie's Orchid Lounge on Broadway to Columbia Studios on Music Row and heard the playback. And he said he knew it was his break too. You know?
Which song gave you the goosebumps in the studio, Mel? When you first heard the playback?
Louisiana Saturday Night.
Louisiana Saturday
Oh,
Night.
yeah. Have you ever been mad in a recording session, Mel, like Jeannie was? You mad? Do you do your best work when you're mad? Some people do.
Well, you know, it depends on the situation. You know, I can get mad and do some pretty good work, and I can get mad and foul things up real good. You know, it just depends.
You never know. I mean, the tone and the setting is so much in the studio. It's so important. It's fascinating
It
stories.
really is. I love those behind-the-scenes stories. We'll be back with more of our guests and more of Music City tonight in just a few minutes. Mel McDaniel's going to sing for us again, and Jeannie C. Riley, too. But first, I want to point out that tonight's show is brought to you by the Alabama Bureau of Tourism and Travel.
For an enchanting getaway, remember, we've got your number. It's 1-800-ALABAMA.